AI is just exploding into healthcare, and it promises to completely change the game, from how we diagnose things to how we treat them. Today, we're going to zoom in on dentistry, a field where AI could become, an absolutely invaluable partner for your dentist. But with any powerful new tool, there's always a really big question. How do we know if it's a true breakthrough or if it's just broken? Let's dive in.
And look, the promise here is huge. We're talking about AI that could spot a tiny cavity on an X-ray that even a super experienced dentist might miss. Or imagine an AI that could map out a complex surgery with a level of precision that's, frankly, superhuman. It's this incredible potential to completely transform patient care that's really fueling all this excitement.
But, and this is the big but, here's the reality check. It's one thing for an algorithm to look brilliant in a lab, right? It's a whole different ballgame when you're talking about real people sitting in a real dental chair. And that, right there, is where things start to get pretty complicated.
Because what we're actually seeing, if you look closely, is a kind of crisis hiding in plain sight. A shocking number of those super exciting scientific papers you hear about, well, a lot of them are built on some seriously shaky foundations. And we're not talking about little typos here. We're talking about major, fundamental flaws that could make their conclusions totally unreliable.
So what do these problems look like? Well, you've got studies with weak scientific methods, papers that are so badly reported you can't even figure out what the researchers did, and a real failure to connect the dots. Like, how does this actually help a real dentist or a patient? But maybe the biggest red flag of all? A total lack of transparency. I mean, if other scientists can't even repeat your work, how on earth can we trust your results? This quote from the source material just absolutely nails it. A scientific paper that hides its data or its code isn't really a scientific paper at all. It's basically an ad. It's asking everyone to just trust me. But science isn't built on trust. It's built on proof. It's built on being able to check the work. So yeah, it's really no surprise that these are the exact reasons that top scientific journals are rejecting these kinds of papers. They're either not new or not actually useful in a clinic, their methods are a total mess, or, and here it is again, their results are locked in a black box that nobody else can open and verify. So how do we fix this? How do we clean things up? Well, a group of experts, we're talking the editors and reviewers from the best dental journals out there, decided to tackle this problem head-on. They came up with a simple but really powerful 4-point checklist to help everyone, from scientist to dentist, separate the real science from the hype. And here they are, 4 essential checks. First, is this thing actually trying to solve a real-world problem? Second, did they follow the established rules for reporting their science? Third, is everything out in the open so other people can replicate it? And finally, number 4, are they using language that's honest and accurate, not just hype? Let's dig into that first one, because honestly, it might be the most important. Just because we can use AI for something doesn't mean we should. A truly great study has to be aimed at a real clinical need. It can't just be a cool tech demo. It has to have the potential to actually make a difference for patients. This is a perfect illustration of that. A study might proudly announce, say, a 4% improvement in some technical metric. And that sounds pretty impressive, right? But the real question is, so what? Does that 4% actually lead to better patient outcomes? Does it mean fewer mistakes? If the answer is no, then it's just a number on a page. It's statistically significant, sure, but clinically, it's meaningless. Okay, next up, you gotta follow the rules. Think of scientific reporting guidelines like a recipe for a cake. If you want someone else to be able to bake the same cake, you have to list all the ingredients and all the steps, in order. These guidelines do exactly that for science, making sure all the vital info is there and easy to find. And this isn't just some vague idea, There are actual specific playbooks for different kinds of AI research. You've got dental AI, which is made just for dentistry, and others like Start AI for diagnostic tools. Following the right guideline is a huge sign that a study was done carefully and professionally. This gets to the absolute heart of what science is supposed to be. If you're not transparent about every single step of your process, and if you don't give other people the tools, the data, and the code to check your work, then you're not really doing science. You're just telling a good story. So what does this transparency actually look like? It means the paper tells you the whole story, where the data came from, how they cleaned it up, and all the nitty-gritty details of how the AI model was actually built. And, of course, the most important part, sharing the key ingredients, the data, and the code so anyone can see for themselves.
All right, the final check is all about the words we choose.
Hype and big, exaggerated claims can be really dangerous in medicine, misleading everyone from doctors to the public. When the stakes are this high, good science demands responsible, precise language. Here is a fantastic example. A lot of papers use the term ground truth to describe the correct answer their AI is trying to learn. But ground truth sounds so absolute, so objective, right? In medicine, especially when you're reading an X-ray, the truth is often just what a panel of human experts agrees on, and that can be subjective. So the much more accurate term is reference standard. It's a small change, but it's a vital one.
And here's another one. People are moving away from the word validation and toward testing. And for good reason. It's more precise. And it's not enough to just say an AI was tested. You have to know how. Think of it like this. Internal testing is like studying for an exam using your own notes. You've already seen the questions. External testing is the real final exam with brand new questions you've never seen before. Only external testing can tell you if the AI is truly ready for the real world. So after all of that, you might be thinking, okay, this is a little academic. Why does this actually matter? Well, it matters because these guidelines aren't just for researchers. This whole process, this rigorous review, is the foundation we need to build AI tools that all of us can actually trust with our health. And let's be clear, this isn't about putting the brakes on innovation, not at all. It's about building a solid foundation for the future. It's about making sure that when an AI tool finally arrives in your dentist office, it's not just some fancy new gadget. It's a trusted partner in your healthcare. It's about building a bridge of trust between patients, doctors, and this incredible technology.
Ultimately, it all boils down to this one simple idea. The future of AI in healthcare completely depends on the quality of the science we do today. Because in medicine, trust isn't just a nice to have, it's everything. And that trust has to be earned, one rigorous, transparent, and honest study at a time.
AI isn't on its way to our clinics. In many ways, it's already here, and it's coming fast. So the real question for all of us isn't if it will be part of our healthcare, but how. What standards are we going to set for it? What level of proof will we demand? When it comes to our health, what does good enough really mean?